Here's how to make 1.3 million Kenya shillings every single month by operating a luxury holiday bus liner that takes people across East Africa and is able to make money from the tourists who wants to tour around East Africa at the comfort of the bus liner, which has arranged all manner of logistics and all manner of things on their behalf and enabling them to travel between Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, Tanzania, and back to Kenya. So how do you make 1.3 million from a luxury bus liner business? So the first thing that you need, of course, is a bus. You know, this just don't need a bus, but you need a bus that is equipped, that is comfortable, that is luxurious. And as per the figures that I have collected, a good bus without too much down on it, but with seats, is around 8.2 million shillings for a 62-seater bus. 62-seater bus at 8.2 million thereabout. If you're going to put nice seats, nice cushions, nice color, and do all manner of things on it, then you use an extra 1.8 million to bring it to the luxury status. You're going to spend around 10 million for the bus and equipping it, the music and everything, to make it nice and comfortable for those long bus rides. So it's not just any other transport means, but it is a luxurious means of business. Equip it with a fridge, equip it with some luxurious things, enough equipment and enough things to be able to enable you to be able to do this excursion and these plans on behalf of your people. So that is the first thing that you need to do, the bus, of course. And here is what you will be able to do. You'll have the bus now. What do? You need to operate 4 trips every single month. 4 trips every single month of around 7 days each. And you are going to need, in those trips, to be able to go from Nairobi all the way to Kigali and back through Uganda as you go, and back towards Burundi, Tanzania as you come back. You can even pick to not go to Burundi, whichever the case may be. But you're going to square out a plan on how you're going to transport people, and you're going to have 7 days of sleep, or 7 days trip, 6 nights, and they're going to enable people to be able to do as much as they can with the time that you have with them. So you're going to have 60 people. You're working logistics of 60 people, and assuming the 2 seats are for the driver and the assistant driver, who again acts as a person who serves the people on the board, and they can be able to work together as a team to make sure that everyone is comfortable. Of course, the bus is air conditioned, it is comfortable, all things held constant. It's a luxurious bus. So 4 trips, 7 days, 6 nights, and you're going to charge paltry 20,000 Kenya shillings. 20,000. I'm using Kenya shillings as a standard figure because I'm talking from the point of view of a Kenyan. So 20,000 Kenya shillings, around $200 per person for the 7 days and 6 nights, and this is just for the transportation. This again, you will charge 20,000 for the transportation only. We are going to talk about the hotels and everything as we continue. So 60 people paying 20,000 shillings, and for 4 trips you'll be able to make 4.8 million Kenya shillings gross income from just the transportation of these people to where they need to go, how they need to go. They have not slept, they have not eaten, they have not done all these things. Then what you're going to be offering is you're going to unlabel and have connections with hotels. Remember, you have 60 people, and hotels would want to have 60 people every 4 days every month. And most hotels, because they are not as big, you do not look at the luxurious big hotels. You look at some hotels that are slightly outside the city, and can be able to park a bus and can be able to get and accommodate 60 people in all double occupancy and offer some sort of breakfast for your people in the morning. So this is going to be booked separately, and you'll be able to work out a package. And the reason I'm not putting into it, because it is not the core of our business, but because we are bringing business to them, we have to make money from them. And for every person who sleeps in their hotel, we are going to make 200 shillings from them every every month. Because what? We are consolidating the people, we are bringing them value, and we are assuring them of business every 4 days as they sleep in their hotel. Think about it. If it is a Monday, most hotels are actually not occupied on a Monday. But if you assure the hotel, and most hotels have 60 going up, some mid-sized hotels have 60 people occupancy bed capacity going up, and if you assure them of business every 4 days, I can tell you they will give you an offer that you can't refuse. So because of that offer, and because what we pass down as value for our people, we negotiate on behalf of the people who travel with us. We are also being able to get 200 shillings from every single person every single night they sleep at every single hotel. And we are going to have 200 shillings, and we're going to have 60 people multiplied by 6 and then multiply by 4. Then we are going to make around 300,000 there about. So 300 and something there about. We are going to make a total of 5.136 million shillings from the bookings that we make and for the transport cost that we charge our customers. So 5.1 million shillings for the 4 trips for 7 days and 6 nights. Then we are going to have, of course, expenses. And here are some of these expenses as we mentioned. The first expense will be, of course, fuel. Fuel will be, we are going to have around round trips around 3,000 kilometers because it's long distances. So for 3,000 kilometers, and assuming you're using 1 liter for 5 kilometers, because again buses don't consume a lot of fuel and all these things, we are going to incur around 360,000 for the 4 trips in fuel every single month. 360,000 shillings. Assuming we pay our people around 90,000 shillings. So there are 2 people, 90,000 shillings. We are going to give them 90,000 shillings, and of course if they're able to do a good job, then we can add and have a bonus. But around 90,000 is the basic income that we pay the driver and the person who is acting as a co-driver and the person assisting the people on board in terms of comfort, in terms of logistics, and in terms of all these things. And you're going to have insurance on the bus because it's a big bus, it is carrying a lot of people. We're going to have at least 40,000 every single month going towards insurance, comprehensive insurance for our people that we carry across the borders, and it's going to be 40,000 Kenya shillings every single month. Then maintenance for a car, it's a luxurious bus. You're not going to let it fail along the way. You're not going to do it poorly. Every single month it has to be done a comprehensive service, checking all the brakes, all the tires, everything that needs to be, because we don't want our bus breaking down in the middle of nowhere. So maintenance is going to be a key thing for us to maintain our brand. So 100,000 towards maintenance of our bus. Then I have put a depreciation figure of 800,000 shillings because as per my estimation, for the 4 trips every single month at 3,000 kilometers every single trip, we are going to have 12,000 kilometers driven on that bus every single month. At the end of the day, it is going to be around 144,000 kilometers. My assumption is after that, the bus is no longer luxurious and we sell it off and get a new bus. And so we have put depreciation of 833,000 Kenya shillings, and we have assumed that the resale value of that bus after 1 year is 0. Even though you and I know that it is not going to be 0, it is still going to be usable. It can be bought by a school, it can be bought by another company, it can be sold for scrap value at worst, but it is still a very good bus. And because it is very well maintained, it still has a lot of value. But because we are a luxury liner, we are going to buy a new bus at the end of the year, so the replacement has to be done within a year, and that is why we are saying a depreciation of 833,000 totaling to an annual depreciation of 10 million, which is what is going to replace into the next bus for the next year. The licensing and permits are going to be around 100,000 Kenya shillings. Then advertising, because remember, we are going to need a lot of money to be able to push this idea. It is a new idea, it is a novel idea. We need to push it into the market. We need to have agents in the airports, because remember, As much as I want my Kenyan people to travel, Kenyans don't travel. Even the people who have a lot of money, they just don't travel as much. And so you have to coerce them and put them and encourage them to be able to travel. And so you have to put a lot of advertising towards this. And because the international market will be the core part of business, we as a company would take it upon ourselves to be able to advertise for the people who come and travel into Kenya and who desire to have a trip around East Africa. So they can be able to cover the whole of East Africa, and we have a package for them that is not exorbitant, and it is reasonable, and it is not highly put up above compared to our local clients. Of course, taking into account the additional logistics of people with different passports and different travel capacities around East Africa. And so we are going to have agents at the airport who are going to work with us. We are not employing them, but we give them a bonus or something because of the value that they bring. It is like a kickback for a salesperson who brings you business, a commission, let us call it. And so they are going to push this business and are going to sell, and for every seat that they sell, that they are able to get a certain value. And so we are going to cut off that value and ensure that it is what we get at the end of the day from the person, it is not lower than the local client is paying. And so that one we do not consider in terms of dipping our income or increasing our income. We're just making it as a fair market value for the international clients that travel through Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. Because before the Kenyan people are encouraged to travel even more and even more consistently, the international market might be a core part of business that we will not want to ignore. But we still want Kenyans to travel, and so we'll be able to push and push and push this business for our people to be able to travel. Again, we may look at linkages to be able to ensure that people who are in Kampala would want to travel again across East Africa, that we have a way to be able to accommodate them so that they are able to travel along with us. But this is something that can be done in the future, but we can look into possibility and ways of doing such things. But the core business is Kenyans or people who are in Kenya and travelers who are coming into Kenya and who desire trips across East Africa to be able to travel and see the wide breadth of East Africa and everything it can be able to offer. So that is another business we are going to talk about, and that is why you have an advertising budget of 200,000 every single month to go towards bringing the 60 seats every single trip, so covering the 240 seats every single month, because we want to have 100% occupancy every time, every day, any trip, anytime. Then, because of our costs, so our income of 5.1 million less our cost, we are going to make a net profit of 1.3 million shillings before taxes. 1.3 million shillings before taxes. And that is how you make 1.3 million shillings from a luxury business liner, luxury bus liner that is offering tour services across East Africa to a wide range of people, mostly focusing on Kenyans and people within the space in Kenya. I hope you're learning, you're growing and becoming better in your financial affairs. Remember, my name is George Kingori. I bring ideas that can be able to challenge, ideas that are going to make you millionaires, ideas that are going to bring you business and income as you sit. Remember, if it is 10 million that you're going to invest in and it is 1.3 million that you're going to make, within 10 months, the payback period has already been concluded. You have already made your money. My name is George Kingori, your online finance guy. Subscribe, share, like, and comment, and enjoy your day.